Welcome back, everyone. So let's remove the bookmark and continue our tale. So, Cal, whilst everyone else is eating their meals and enjoying a delicious dinner, you set off early, heading off into the dustlit sky towards the Grey District. You make your way through the streets up to the tram, knowing that although it would be faster to go in a straight line to the other side, since you are in the Light District, you cannot go further as you'll pass into the Noble District, and that's only for nobles as well, so you'd have to go back to any of the other districts and make your way around. It is an inconvenience, but the royals have decreed it so. But nevertheless, you make your way, walking to the tram, head up the staircase and wait for it, and it takes about 5 minutes, but after waiting, the tram arrives, and people get off, and other people get on, and you as well step in there. It's a little bit crowded, actually, on this night, and as you go ahead and take your seat, you look around, and it's just a plethora of humans, dwarves, gnomes, etc., all in their wizard garbs as you start to make your way across to the Grey District, or any district. Are you where are you specifically heading?
To head to the Grey District and then loop around, if that makes sense.
That's totally fine. Yep, you could totally do that. You have the directions and instructions that have been given to you by the letter from Drusilla. Cal, you go from stop to stop. As you get into closer towards the Magus District, you see the Mage Wars appear once again, as it does every night. And you see a lot of the people are getting off specifically at the Magus District, possibly going to see the Mage Wars. But you continue heading on, and then when you head further into getting closer and closer, passing each district one by one, feeling the magic wash over you as you enter the new district, it ends up with only you being the last and only inhabitant on this tram until you finally arrive as the magical sign tells you that you are in the Grey District. You go ahead and leave the tram, make your way down the steps into the familiar district, and start to make your way towards the left. Well, it's a circle, so you can go left or right. The choice is up to you.
I will go left, as I remember that I know that the heirs of Equipoise are also on that side, so I'll just pass by to kind of see if I recognize anyone as I walk by the building.
Okay.
Making the loop.
So to make a full loop around here will probably take you the better part of an hour or so, going at a normal pace, but walking about 10 minutes, you do pass by the familiar building that you recognize of the heir of Equipoise. Looking down it just looks like a normal building. Roll me a perception check.
That's an 11.
An 11. It looks normal. No one's going in and out. Maybe they're having a meeting, maybe not. But there's nothing that alerts you at this moment. You can head over there if you want, or are you going to continue?
No, I'm going to continue.
Okay. So you continue walking past the streets. So you pass many buildings, a lot of it merchant shops that are closing as it's late evening at this point. You arrived in the later half of the evening, then had all those affairs take place. The streets are pretty quiet and pretty empty for the Grey District, but nevertheless, after walking for about an hour, you finally come upon the address and the directions that the letter stated. In front of you, you see is a large warehouse-like building. There are windows that are black on the inside you are unable to see, and they stretch about 3 stories tall. There's no door, strangely, in the front, but there are 2 alleyways to the left and the right. Peeking over towards the left, you see that the alleyway ends with nothing but just windows, no back doors or nothing of the such. Looking over to the right, you do see there is a strange red door. But at this distance, you can't make out anything else. Do you go closer?
I will go closer.
Okay. So you step closer down the alleyway, and it almost feels like, although it's always dusk and it's always the same brightness, it gets a little bit darker almost while you walk down this alleyway. Your natural senses kick off, and then without even having to divinely go into it, you can just smell the imbalance of life and death in this area. Looking at the door, you see that there is a slide at eye view that is closed, as well as a blood droplet on the door that kind of blends in with it as they're both red, but you're able to tell the difference. The door does look to be locked, though.
I'll knock.
All right. So you knock onto the door. There is no response, and you're waiting there for about a minute. You knock again, And as you go to knock one last time, the slide opens up, and you see two eyes peering at you. These eyes don't look very human-like. They're very, almost cat-like and yellow, sharp, with the irises in a strange blob-like formation. What do you want?
I'm here to speak with Drusilla.
Do you have an invitation?
I hand over the blank white card.
Okay. It as you kind of put it up towards the eye holes, the person steps back, reaches out, and with his hands, and you immediately notice that its fingers are extremely long and sharp as it goes and grabs the paper, its nails kind of scratching against the wooden door before disappearing behind the other side. You then hear a chick, ching, kung, fu, woom, woom, and then the door opens up to its side. Like, it doesn't open out, it slides into the wall itself. Around the other side, you see it looks to be a tall, looks like a human person. Doesn't look like, the eyes are normal, blue, as well as the fingers are normal again. And the person turns to you, normal tunic and like a close-up like a normal citizen of Thelos. Welcome. The lady of the house is expecting you. She'll be ready shortly. Someone will come for you. Please, have a seat. Enjoy the bar of the Bloodlet. He kind of smiles at you, showing like very, not overly sharp teeth, but sharper than what you would think normal humans would have teeth, as he smiles with his large grin and gives you a bow.
I enter cautiously, and as I walk over to where he said that the refreshments were, I kind of open side of the pocket, like I said I was going to, while kind of hiding it with my hand, almost like I'm palming Hootie as I let Hootie out, and then kind of like flutter around behind my duster as I flourish around, trying to intentionally draw attention away from it flying off so it can like start observing.
All right, roll me a sleight of hand check.
That is a 25.
25. So you nonchalantly open up and perform those movements, and very stealthily are able to release Hootie as Hootie flies up. You can see, so the inside looks to be a large club. As soon as you step through the threshold and pass a curtain heading towards where he said the drinks were, you see that you're in a large nightclub-like establishment. There are tons of people dressed in all types of guards. Surprisingly, many of them look to be wizards. Well, I don't know if it's surprising or not, you're in the city of Arcane, but a lot of them are wizards, and they're all sitting at many different booths. There are several booths. It's large, like 1,000 square feet inside of here, as well as there's multiple levels, about 3. There are several rooms aligned around the perimeter of the inside, as sit at the very front is a stage. There you see dressed in immaculate a beautiful dress is a woman in front of the stage performing a song, and you see a lot of people in the front right on the other side of the stage kind of swaying back and forth as she's going ahead singing. Roll me a perception check.
That is a natural 20, 25.
Ooh, all right. You see many different mages kind of in their own booths, while there's an assortment of some of them have very, I'm going to say scantily dressed, but very provocatively dressed humanoids who are kind of pouring them drinks in there as they're kind of getting drunk. And you see a couple of them being led back to a back room. As the room door opens up, you see, with your natural 20, people smiling, like sitting down, like mages and other people smiling, while these other like scantily dressed people are opening their mouths, and you see fangs come out and biting into them as the door closes, and the people who are getting bit are just look like to be in ecstasy, and the door closes behind them.
I brain chat to Horatio. Hootie is live. You wouldn't believe what's going on here if I told you.
Your brain chat does not seem to escape the perimeter of this and you could tell that. Like, you can feel the connection. There's no connection whatsoever.
Shit. Looks like I'm on my own. I hope Horatio can just think to check.
But nonetheless, do you go over to the bar? Or there's a bar with several patrons at the bar, as well as a bartender.
Yes. I'll go up to the bar.
Okay, you know, it's the bartender and the people who are like dressed very provocatively, all are paler than everyone else here.
Okay.
but the bartender looks to be a human woman, dressed in normal bartender clothes, and she's going there serving people. One of the people, I was still keeping your natural 20. One of the people who's sitting at the bar, kind of has a hood over their head, so you can't make them out. But the bartender, she goes and pours a very thick red liquid out of a strange case, and then slides it over to him, and he begins drinking it. The rest of them look like they're drinking some type of liquor or alcohol that she's serving.
Okay.
But you do make your way over to the bar and taking an empty seat that's kind of next to two mage-looking humans. The bartender steps up to you. Welcome. How can I help you?
I'll have a whiskey.
A whiskey. Excellent. We'll be there shortly. And he gives you a wink, and she kind of moves on over towards the bar, takes out a bottle, pours it into a cup, puts some ice into it, and slides it over to you. She whips it, but it stays in his cup until it slows down perfectly, landing directly at your hand.
Thanks.
No problem. It's on the house, she says, giving you a wink, walking over, and then she starts attending to other patrons. As the music goes on and people end their clap with the performer, two pale-looking, very buff, ball-headed humans walk on over towards you and stand on and like kind of push one of the mages that was on the seat to your left off. And he goes, "Oh, my word!" And then the person looks on over to him, and he goes, and the wizard kind of shuts up and walks off his way. And you are sat down by two very husky-looking gentlemen. The lady is ready to see you, mortal key.
Don't call me that. The name's Cal. Lead the way.
Certainly. And he kind of shakes his head to acknowledge the other one, and they both kind of get up and start to lead you towards one of those back rooms that you saw. One of the many people. You see people going in and out of these rooms, and every so often you get a glimpse of them getting bit. But after some time, you do see them leaving, kind of scratching their neck where the holes were, or putting like a scarf around it and tying it. Very elated and happy, though maybe a little drunk looking. They're stumbling and before leaving, so you know they're not being killed or anything. But alas, you walk through one of the back rooms, passing the large crowds who in all the many seats, and the brown doors open for you, and you step through. As soon as you step through, the entire ambiance, the entire decor changes. What went to be more of a nightclub-like warehouse, it turned into what seems to be more of like a manor or a place where someone, like a house. There's a pathway leading up to another door that is already open. Inside, you can see is a well-furnished house with hallways made out of wood, bending every which direction. Bending in to the left and so on, leading you down to different rooms, and I will share the map for you.
Just for him, or can we all watch?
I guess that would depend if you're trying to look through Hootie's eyes or not.
I mean, Horatio, I don't think Monaco told them, but Horatio after a while would be like, he hasn't checked in, let me check in myself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Hootie's inside the warehouse. He did not go through the building. He's kind of flying around. So when you check in, Horatio, you see the warehouse as well as several people going inside these rooms. You do see Cal go into this room. The door closes behind him. And then as well as the stage, and you hear the sounds of the performance, etc.
Okay.
But let's get you on the map, Cal.
Yes, please. I want to see where I'm actually at.
So, the doors are open and you begin walking through. So immediately when you enter, you can feel, because you're tied to the arcane in some way, a magical energy come upon you. Looking down, you see there is a magical circle and placed in this long hallway, though the purpose of it, you're not sure by looking at it. But the guards, or the two gentlemen, begin pushing you further anyway, going throughout the hallway. As you continue walking, you start to make a left, and the light changed to a strange it's illuminated here, but you can tell that it's magically illuminated, as you don't see any candles or anything lit. You see candles, but none of them are actually lit, though there is light everywhere. You pass by the first room that's opened up, and they kind of open up the doors for you. You can see there's a table with different maps and papers on top of them, as well as two paintings that look very mirror-like, though when you go close to them, there's not a reflection. onto it, but it's as if it's like a picture of a mirror. Not sure exactly what that means or not, but you continue walking past it nonetheless. They then lead you to throughout the next door, and then continuing down this carpeted, beautiful hallway until you eventually reach the back room.
As I was going through that first room, was I able to see anything in particular on the map that was on the table?
Roll me a perception check.
That's a 10.
10. No, as there's one guard in front of you, one in the back of you. They seem to be kind of pushing you along, and you kind of glance over to your right very quickly, but you're unable to make it out. It does look to be some type of map, though. You're able to surmise that much of what you're not sure. No, you think you might recognize it, but you didn't have time. Eventually, walking through those doors down the next hallway that is carpeted with a strange but beautiful designed carpet, as well as tapestry lit up, you see one of those familiar mirror paintings before opening up to two large doors. As you open up, you see there are several pews, as well as several figures inside here. You see that there seems to be some type of ceremony or event happening, and at first you look back, but you step in there and the doors are closed behind you. As two guards don't enter in there. You hear that you're in mid-conversation, a woman speaking at the very front, and she says, "Welcome, brothers and sisters. We have found 3 exceptional specimens to bring into our fold. They have come here in their own volition to obtain true power." And the cloak figure kind of looks, you can see the shining eyes of the figure through the cloak as the purple eyes as it shines through, staring at you, Cal. But then she looks back towards the 3 people who are kneeled in front of her. "Do you all wish to join the Order of the Bloodlen, and in doing so take upon my blood and become Vampire Eladato?" And they all say in unison, "Yes, lady. Great lady, we wish to join the Bloodlen." "And so be it. Come, one by one I shall anoint you with the blood." And she kind of cuts her wrist open, and you can see that her hands are very silky, moon-like white. And she takes her right hand, it has a very long, sharp fingernail, slides it down her wrist until blood starts coming out. She grabs a chalice from the altar behind her as it starts to fill up with her blood. "Drink from me and become my spawn." And all the obviously looking vampires you see, who are from the left and right of you, Cal, looking on, they look at you, smile, but look back at the event that's happening. And each of the people, you can see it's like two dwarves and a human, begin to drink out of the chalice. And as they finish, they look up towards her. "Excellent." And she walks up to one of them, takes her silky hand towards their neck, and breaks it. And then the body falls down. She then walks up to the next one and does the same until all 3 of the people in front of her fall to the ground dead. "You," she says, pointing to one of the vampires to her right, to her left. "You, take them, bury them. They will be hungry. Bring them fresh blood of the Virgin. I want them strong and powerful. Everyone, we have brought 3 more to our family. Applaud them." And everyone starts clapping. And then eventually you see one of the vampire people wearing like a leather armor go and start dragging the bodies one by one, bringing them to a secret door to the upper right hand corner, and dragging each of them one by one as the woman starts stepping down, getting closer and closer toward you, Cal. My. It is lovely to see the Mortal Key. Did you enjoy the show?
Not much for 1X.
Well, it's not for the faint of heart. Come closer. Have a seat. We have much to discuss. I'm so glad you came.
I'll stay standing if it's all right with you.
Oh, but the cautious one, are we? And she kind of disappears in shadow, appearing right behind you, whispering in your ear. And then she whispers in your ear, "I'm so glad you decided to come."
Yes. So, what exactly did you want to discuss?
"Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But, this is a private matter, so..." And she opens up her mouth, and you still can't really see inside of her cloak, but she opens her mouth and you hear a booming sound come out. "I charge you to cease your senses. No longer will you hear until I say so. No longer will you feel until I let you. No longer will you see until it's permitted. And the vampires who were in that room, they were kind of chatting and talking amongst themselves. They immediately stop, freeze up, and stand there. And they kind of get a gloss over their eyes. Much better. Now we're alone. They couldn't listen to me if they tried. So.
That seems to be a handy trick.
Well, it was something I like to call compulsion. I just suggested to them, and they followed. And what is the mind but just an extension of the body? So whatever I tell the mind to do, the body will be able to. If I don't want them to hear, then the body will cease to hear. If I don't want them to see, they will go blind. And at this point, she takes her cloak, her hood, and slides it back. And you see that she has long, beautiful, silky, moon-touched white hair that goes all the way down to the bottom of her back. She has almost elf-like ears that are pointy, but not quite. You know what elf ears look like. Her eyes are deep purple and very cat-like, and her fingers are her fingers are normal, not like the other creatures you saw, but her nails are extremely sharp and long. But she's wearing just a normal brown cloak. I am Drusilla Lennar, and I've waited so long to see you, Calamity Morgul. That's
Yes.
what you go by, right?
Yeah, that's me. How do you even know I exist?
Oh, I've known you existed for quite some time now. When you were pulled from my clutches, when you were just a babe.
What are you talking about?
Oh. So, my spies have told me that you've met with the heirs of Equipoise, and I'm sure they filled your head with so much lies. Oh, how they were protecting you from me, I'm sure. That's what they have been telling them. Don't worry, I have my little friends inside their order. Nothing goes without me knowing. But I want to tell you the truth, and maybe we can come to a deal. I don't wish you any harm. Thirsty? She says.
I'm fine. Thank you.
Your loss. And she kind of walks on over to one of a back altar and pulls out another chalice. And next to it is a golden decanter where she pours a red liquid in there, but it's not as nearly as thick as what blood would be. And you smell like a fruity scent to it. Love a good red. And she starts to take sips from it. When she brings down her cup, the wine drips down her mouth and starts sliding down, giving her this kind of strange, barbaric, but elegant look. And she licks it up. Well, I'm sure you know now that you are the mortal key, yes? Brought by Hades, or Kalimfer, whatever you want to call them, to be reborn over the centuries, over and over again.
That's the story.
I remember your last iteration. You were quite powerful indeed. And
What do you mean?
Oh, I've been alive for quite some time now. And I've known your past selves.
Who was I?
Oh, that's of no concern, she says. And as she says that, she grabs something around her neck and begins and you look, and then looking at it, you notice that she's wearing like a heart pendant. She begins kind of playing around with it, and she puts it down again. What I'm concerned of now is maybe a deal. First, let me reveal some truths to you, so you can perhaps establish some trust. I know you're a paladin, and I'm sure you don't appreciate being in such a desecrated place such as this one. I acknowledge our differences. There's no need to like each other, but I would think that our interests may align. Well,
Continue.
That Regan Coldhammer, he's not what you think he is.
And what do you think I think about him?
All the heirs of Equipoise see him as a leader, a powerful, just man. He is only but a thief.
What do you mean?
Well, he seeks... If you think that your father, she says, doing air quotes, was protecting you on behalf of the heirs of Equipoise, and you're quite wrong. Regan is power-hungry. He is searching for a way to step through the doors of Eustacia himself.
That really isn't anything shocking. I gathered that after the first 15 minutes of talking to him. He tried to make me a tool, a mere pawn in a large game I think he's playing.
Oh, and this game has been going on for quite some time, I assure you. With his predecessor and his predecessor before him.
So, So who was my father protecting me from?
While the heirs of Equipoise, of course. Once they figured out who the Mortal Key was, and that they were inside of our sanctum, where they would truly be protected, they set out an all-force assault on us. If they couldn't have you, then they would kill you. And such a noble knight your father was. He struck a deal with us. We would hand you over to him to protect you as you went off in Shiverin. And while you were there, we would... Well, no need to go into such details yet. But let's just be clear. Your father and I were actually friends. Or, friends is a strong word. Let's just say we had our goals aligned. And our joined enemy of the heirs of Equipoise. They don't follow Kelemvor in the way that they should. They bastardize his scriptures and use them as excuse for power, searching for a way to enter Eustacia themselves and become a new set of god. Something stronger than the Prolepsy, better than the Aegis, something new. And of course, this is something that Kelemvor does not want.
I can't believe it. That's the entire reason Kelemvor split himself, to not pick a side.
Exactly. And so Glilia sought to take you out of this and protect you, to not tip the balance into anyone's favor, which is exactly what we wanted as well. For now.
What do you mean, for now?
Well, I don't care to become some goddess. I'm already immortal, and I have my own army here. I'm living the life. The King of Thelos and the Corporis Arcana know of our existence, and as long as we don't kill and don't maim, we are able to feed as we so choose and live in a fine life here. And I don't wish to mess that up. But we do have a goal that only the Mortal Key can accomplish, though it has to be willingly.
And what goal would that be?
She walks around you and has a seat in one of the pews, crosses her legs, and looks up to you with her bright purple eyes. Well, there is a doorway we need open. No mystical doorway like Eustacia that is saying godhood. Instead, it's a doorway to our sanctuary. A long time ago, some adventurers traveled down into the void and sealed off the sixth layer, the layer of darkness. That is our home, our true home, and we need someone with your talents to open it up for us. There we can enter into that plane and finally rid ourselves of Duskhaven. There's not much of us here. The demons, they're not to our taste.
Answer me this. Are you raising the undead and bringing them to this city?
Of course I'm not. Why would I need to deal with more undead that is outside of my power? That is something entirely different, and the reason why we're looking to leave here as soon as possible. I feel a very dark entity coming in the horizon. Something over the power of the dead, something over the power of demons, and I don't want to mess with that.
I see. Do you think the Arcanum could be behind these undead?
Oh, the Corporis? I'm sure they probably are in some way. Their fangs, she says smiling, dig deeper in this society than you could ever imagine.
I seem to be getting quite the picture.
Yes. So before this entity makes its way, and I fear that it may actually be too late, but before they make their presence known to us, I would like to make a deal, a pact with the Mortal Key. Of course, this will require a spell to be cast upon us, but in doing so, in your agreement, you will open up the sixth layer door, and with that doorway open, we will be able to traverse from here directly there, tied through you. And don't worry, there will be no harm that comes upon you. Just a link between you and I that my children can walk through. The power of the Mortal Key goes far beyond your imagination.
And why was this place sealed away?
Oh, worry you not about those details. In exchange, I can tell you about your birth parents, where you're truly from, and how to use these gifts that you've been bestowed. Like I said, I've had close relations with your past iterations.
That is quite tempting.
Don't you want to know who you are, Cal?
I know who I am.
Mm.
And
Do you
Glilia
know?
raised me better than any Bloodlen or any heirs of Equipoise. He showed me how to do the right things, and I think Kellamvor is satisfied with just that.
He was a great man. You knew his heart was always in the right place, even if he had to sully his hands every so often. Everything for you. He took such a liking to you, though I imagine he would, as he was very close to your birth mother. Too close, if you ask me.
Who was she?
Don't. I thought you were fine knowing with who you are now. Seems like you were more curious than you originally thought. I can give you everything you need to know. And she goes into her cloak and then pulls out a picture. On the picture, you see was a tiny baby, a gray tiefling, being held by a tiefling woman of the same complexion. And in the background, you see kind of standing in the background of this painting, this picture, you also see a gentleman standing, though it's kind of blurred. Not going to say blurred out, but the painting wasn't focused on it. But this gentleman does look to stand very tall, same complexion as the two of you, but looks a little bit older, though you can't really make out any of the features as this wasn't the focus of the painting. I'm sure you would like to know who these two are. I just need a deal.
I don't take this decision lightly.
I do hope you make the right decision, Cal.
Is that it? Anything else you needed? Of your mortal key?
As a token of good faith, I'll tell you this name. Eden Goren. And she smiles and walks away, heading towards the front altar. I look forward to hearing your answer, Cal. Do hope you make the right one. We can't have the mortal key just free and walking about, can we?
We'll talk, I say with like a grimacing smile,
and as she finishes talking, all the vampires who were kind of seized up and unmoving kind of look over you and they growl like "Arr!" and they look kind of over to you. I know you'll make the right decision. Don't force my hand, Cal.
And don't force mine either, as I flash my father's revolvers.
Oh, you have Galilia's weapon. Such powerful weapons indeed. I wonder if you know what it truly can do. More things I can tell you, of course. I'm sure you can see your way out.
Certainly.
Okay. So as you go and head off, you're free to head off or go wherever you like.
I think that I will just head straight out. I would like to check out either those two paintings and or the table in the first room if I, don't have the overseeing eyes of those two large henchmen.
Okay. No, you don't. So you walk out, you first go to the painting, and you look at it, it's strange. Just like the painting, if you want to try to inspect it, you can roll checks depending on how you want to inspect it.
Yeah, I'll roll a history check, I guess.
Okay.
That's a 23.
23. All right. So you're looking at the painting. It looks really old. You could tell by the frame, and you can, in inspecting it, you could tell by just like the actual parchment that is the paper. You kind of feel it a little bit, and it does seem very old. Other than that, there's nothing distinguishable about it.
Okay. Other than that, I'd like to just check out the map on the table, and then I will walk myself out.
Okay, you go to the other room, the small room with the carpeted area and the table with the maps onto it. Looking there, the maps are gone.
Of course they are. Okay, that's fine. Seeing that there's nothing else there to observe, I will head out and go back to the loud raucous that was happening.
Okay. So you enter back in, and Horatio, as you're going in and out of Hootie, you do finally see walking through the door. The two guards are at the door, and they open it up for you, Cal. You see Cal walk through again, and Cal, you enter into the room again, and you notice.
I see Hootie.
Oh yeah, you can see him.
As I see Hootie, I make like a nondescript motion next to my temple, pointing in the direction to leave the establishment, and that's what I will do. And then once outside of the building, I would like to attempt to chat with at least just Horatio.
Okay. So you go ahead and leave the establishment. Hootie goes to your side. I'll say no one notices. At this point, people are drunk on several things. Blood, alcohol, lack of blood. But you do make your way to the entrance. The doors open up for you, and you step outside as it's closed and locked shut. You are back into the Grey District, and you reach out and you're able to connect once again to your earrings, your rings of sending.
Horatio, can you hear me?
Oh, Kyle, you must have had a ward.
Damn it, I was afraid of that. I tried speaking with you as soon as I got in, and I felt cut off.
Yeah.
Did you see anything through Hootie?
I saw you walking into the building, and DM, I don't know if while I was going in and out, if I would have caught anything.
Other than the people going in and out the rooms and being bit, you didn't see anything else. Though it just looks like a club.
Yeah, I didn't really see anything of importance happening.
That's understood. Seemed like there was a lot of revelry going on, and other than that, not much. On the front, I was led back into some kind of mansion. I need to discuss things with all of you once I return.
Alright, I'll update everyone, let them know you're on your way back.
Thanks. I'll be back soon.
And Cody stays on his shoulder, and Horatio would meet up or would find everyone in the mansion and let them know Kyle is on the way back.
Okay. So all of you, at this point, you all probably eaten and done your own things separately. Either gone into your own rooms or are relaxing as you completed your meals. Or were you all just hanging around Horatio waiting for the news?
I would have been preparing for the ritual tonight.
Right.
And for some reason, Minako doesn't want to be alone, so she's just standing there with Horatio chatting away.
Okay. So Horatio, as you let this, so King, being in his room preparing for the ritual, you're snap back to your own body after looking into Hootie and talking with Cal and see that Monaco's by your side.
Oh, I heard from Cal. He's on his way back.
Oh, let's let the others know. Did he sound okay?
He sounded fine. He said he has to talk to us when he gets back.
I'm so glad to hear that he's okay. At least alive.
Yeah. Let's go. Tell everyone.
Where is Duran?
Duran would be helping King get prepared for the ritual.
Okay,
We're doof 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 doof. We're pounding our powdered silver and divine residuum together into a amalgam powder for this evening's ritual. Boof boof. We need to make sure it's fully incorporated together. Just keep pounding away. Doof 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 doof.
Horatio would knock on the door loudly. Like, tick, tick, tick.
Keep going. I got it. Keep going. You just got into a good rhythm. Hold on a second, and then I'll get up, and then I'll open the door. What's going on? Come in.
Cal is on his way back.
Is he all right?
Yeah, he's fine.
Oh,
He
good.
sounded fine.
King,
Thank goodness. They did just want to talk. Oh, yes?
don't you know how to cast Arcane Unseen Servant? She says, looking around at all the hard labor you're doing.
No, I do all the hard work myself.
Oh, I don't even tie my own hair in the morning.
At this moment, the
Oh.
only servant he has is very much seen.
You volunteered to do it.
I didn't know what it was going to entail.
Well, let's help him until Cal gets here.
yeah, I was just about to ask if you needed help, but it seems like you do.
I mean, all right. I mean, it's not okay. Well, here's a chunk of silver for you. Here's a chunk of divine residuum rock for you. Just smash it until they're powder. You're both, arcane people. I'm sure you have mortal and pestles in your packs. Go ahead, pound away. Boof, 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 boof. And you can see that there's this silvery, sort of glittery, obviously silver is silver, and the divine residuum is sort of like a white crystal that has an innate glow, and it has a soft, jewel opalescent glow to it. And when the two mix together, they have this silvery glow, and it radiates this just pure divine essence.
And try not to sneeze. We already lost a bowl like that a minute ago.
It's alright, it was quite funny.
Funny now.
And I told Koben to bring his own supply of powdered silver, but I do have enough divine residuum to spare for him, so just a little bit extra on the side for him too. doof, 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 doof. You see him smashing his, mortar, his pestle into his mortar, crushing up the divine residuum.
Ritual cast unseen servant.
I mean, by the time you're done casting your ritual servant, I'll have crushed it all by hand. And I'll fake a muscle, yeah, that's how I get all these -1 muscles.
Horatio casts his mage hand and just has the mage hand do it.
Okay. So you go ahead and cast your mage hand, and it takes a lot of force, more force than the mage hand can do, but you lift up the hammer and begin to do it. It's more work than a normal person would do, but you see that the mage hand is slowly but surely crushing these one by one. So as you prepare for that, waiting for Cal, you're walking back towards the tram to head your way back in there throughout the streets. Streets are pretty empty, and as you make your way kind of halfway towards the tram, there's a cloak figure walking by. You pay no mind, it's just a normal passerby. But as you get closer and closer towards them, the cloak figure kind of bumps into you so hard it nearly knocks you over. Can you need an acrobatics or a dexterity saving throw? Of course, applying if you have an aura and all that stuff.
You're right. That is a 19 plus 7, 26.
26, okay. So walking along the streets, you're bumped and you hear kind of a clanging of metal almost. And you kind of look back at the person. The person turns around as grabbing a blade out of his backpack and goes to make a strike against you.
I try to roll out of the attack's swing, and did I land on my feet or was I knocked prone?
No, you succeeded. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to share the map with you really quick.
Oh, okay. I'm going...
Well, they're going to make a strike against you first.
They're going to make a strike against me? Okay.
Mhm.
I pull out my revolver, at least one of them, if not both.
Before you do that, natural 1. As he goes to make the first strike against you, this cloak figure strikes down with a sword, and you're able to jump out the way, catching your balance. And as he clangs his sword against the ground, the cloak still staying on his head, he looks up at you, and I'll need you to roll me initiative.
That's a 13 for initiative.
Okay.
And as a free action before things go down, I would like to say, show yourself.
The cloak figure does not respond, but on a 17, we'll go first.
Okay, nope.
Okay. All right. So the cloak figure goes. You see that when he pulls out his sword, that he's wearing gauntlets, and his arm is, at least for the part you can see, is armored. And he goes and clang, cling, 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 makes a strike against you with his sword. He gets 2 attacks. That is a 16 versus your AC.
My AC is also a 16.
All right, that's a hit. So you take 6 points of damage, which is absorbed by your temporary hit points.
Yes, by the delicious to-go meal that I have.
He will then make a next attack against you, which is a 13, which misses. So the second attack misses as he slashes against you. The first one hits your arm as you're you get sliced, blood drip. Oh, actually, no blood, because as you get sliced, the temporary hit point shields it off, not making any type of damage to you. He goes for a second strike, but you're able to jump out the way. He's not going to move, but staying right in front of you. So next up would be you and Hootie. So you can have Hootie kind of pops out, and can give you the attack. Can do the help action to give you advantage.
He goes.
Cool.
Does he go back to normal size when he gets in combat?
You're not here, so no.
Man. Let's see yes. I will activate the ring and shoot off a magic missile.
Okay.
Kind of hoping that these missiles of force damage will push this guy back a little bit and maybe reveal what's underneath of his cloak. It's at 11.
11 points of damage, okay.
And would that be the full action attack?
Yes, it's one action to cast a spell out of it.
Okay. And then as a bonus, I would fire a shot. Don't come any closer. And that is a natural 20 for the attack.
Alright, roll damage. 11 points of damage. As you strike the foe, with the magic from the ring, the missiles shoot out, blasting against them. Within that, you go ahead and fire close quarters onto the foe, and he kind of launches back, and the cloak reveals an armored individual. You don't recognize this human gentleman, but he is wearing like a heavy armor.
Is there's no like regalia on the armor? Like identifying
he's
him?
wearing a cloak over the armor. You can just tell that he's wearing armor because he's now revealing that he has a helmet on and like the little bits that's underneath it, but no specific regalia that you can see once you rip off his clothes.
Who are you? And that'll be the end of my turn.
All right. He kind of looks on over to you, doesn't say a word, and just goes to attack some more. 12, which misses. Next attack. 22, which hits.
22 will hit.
Doing 14 points of damage.
Oof,
As he pierces through your temporary hit points, the magical armor that Minako has given you, he strikes as some blood drips down from your shoulder. As the person, he looks very like feral almost, and he has glassy eyes, and just and then grabs his sword and goes to make another strike. But it is yours, and Hootie's helping you, so all of your attacks actually have advantage. Just letting you.
Okay, cool.
So up next is you again, Cal.
You said that he kind of has like this crazy look in his eyes, though.
Yes.
Like he's not himself. Okay. I would like to cast Fear on this person.
Okay.
So they must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw.
All right. It's 14, which fails. So he is feared.
And which triggers my aura of conquest, which allows him to like be immobilized as well.
Okay.
It's if the creature is frightened of me, its speed is reduced to 0, and it takes psychic damage equal to half my paladin level if it starts its turn there.
Starts turn where? And within
like 10 feet from me.
Okay. So you go ahead and release your Kelemvor, the fear of Kelemvor, onto this creature, or to this person. He doesn't seem to scream, but nevertheless, you see that the magic takes its effect, and he just stands there immobilized, frozen in place with his sword over his head. Anything else you wish to do?
I want to ask who sent them. I'm going to get anything out of them.
Okay. And asking your question, doesn't seem that this feral person responds. Anything else you wish to do this turn?
I think that'll be the turn. It's like, yeah.
All right. So, how does this work? Does he get to roll at the end of his turn, start of his turn, or is he just?
So it's weird because while frightened, the creature must dash away from me, but because it's within my aura, it can't.
So he's just immobilized.
Yeah, and if the creature ends its turn in a location where it doesn't have line of sight for me, it can make a Wisdom saving throw. So it needs to get away from me in order to not be frightened of me.
But it's still able to take attacks against you, albeit at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
So it will do so. So it'll make its first attack. A 9.
That misses.
With its spear, it swings widely and is unable to hit you. His legs not able to move and give him any balance. He will try to make another attack at disadvantage. A 15.
Also misses.
Okay, the two swings go, attacks against you. He swings once and misses, swings the second time, misses as well, as you duck and dodge, staying within close quarters with the nemesis. Hootie kind of flying back and forth, giving you advantage against this creature. He ends his turn, against this person. He ends his turn. Up next, Cal.
I want to try to heal this person. Can I try to remove curse? This is my last ditch effort. If this doesn't work, I might just bounce. 'Cause I can clearly tell that they're not in their right mind. I see them with this crazed look in their eyes, and they're not communicating anything towards me. So I figure maybe they're under some sort of spell or affliction. So I'm gonna try to remove curse. At your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object end. If the object is a cursed magic item, its curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's attunement to the object, so it can be removed or discarded.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I mean, you can give it a shot.
Yeah, I don't know if he's under some sort of curse.
Okay, so you go ahead and cast your remove curse, moving around your guns in a fashion to create the somatic components for the spell. You cast it upon it, and the light of Kelemvor falls into this foe, and it kind of shakes and puts his head down and stops moving, and then you think everything is fine, and you reach out to him. He lets up, ha, and begins to try to strike you again. It does not work.
Can I bonus action fire at him?
Yes, you can.
Alright. At advantage. Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Woo!
That's another natural 20.
Nice. Roll that
28.
damage.
Can Hootie just kind of be like doing these like dives right as Cal is about to shoot to kind of distract the individual, and that way Cal can get a good shot?
Certainly.
And that's how we're flavoring it. Like Hootie's just kind of flying around and then like diving in with his talons for an attack just to serve as a distraction, and then Cal can get a nice shot in there.
Sure. So how much damage did you inflict?
I inflicted 18 points of damage,
Nice.
and I will use my action surge to fire off 2 more shots.
All right. Hootie is swooping in there, pecking and clawing at this person.
The 25 that I'm guessing hits.
Okay. 25
Right.
hits. Roll that damage.
Yeah, let me do that really quick. 5 points of damage.
All right. 5 more points of damage, and you're cutting him up, and between you and Hootie, he's getting pretty bloodied as you're making attacks, though he looks like he's still going strong. Anything else you wish to do on this turn? Well, did you shoot your twice for the action surge?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
I can a disease or poison. Okay. I'll do the other attack.
Okay. 23 hits. Ooh, roll damage.
12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. He starts huffing and puffing in pain as you start to shoot him with your magical pistols, one after another.
DM, would I be able to tell if this person is diseased?
I would say in order to tell what's going on with him, you have to use an action. You can roll an insight check.
Okay.
Alright. Anything else you wish to do this turn?
No, that's it. That would be everything that I could do for the turn.
Alright, up next is Entity, who's still at disadvantage, and will attack you. 11 misses. That disadvantage, oof. But the 16 hits.
The 16 does, yep.
Alright, so he will go ahead and strike with his sword, doing 11 points of damage. You duck the first slash of his blade, Cal, but the next one hits straight onto the other shoulder, slashing down as you start to bleed and drop blood onto the ground, and he just looks feral. And ends his turn, unable to move due to the immobilization.
Okay.
Cal,
I would
you're
like
next.
I would like to do an insight check of some sort to kind of figure out if he looks like he's diseased or if this is something that he can be cured of.
Right. Oh, yes. Roll in a concentration check because you are concentrating on fear, correct?
Yeah. So I have to make a con save?
Yes. That's
23.
success. 23 success, yes. All right, you still maintain it.
Alright. And with that, I will do would an insight check make sense, or would it be a medicine? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter either way.
I'll let you choose. One will give you one type of answer, another will give you the other.
Okay, I'm gonna do insight. That's a 10.
You're not sure.
Alright.
He does look crazed.
He does look crazed.
So you still have your bonus action?
I do still have my bonus action. I'm just gonna run away from him.
Okay. Alright, so you go to run away. He will get an attack against you at disadvantage.
Even though he's immobilized?
Well, he can still swing. You're running away, but you're still within his reach.
Alright.
Which is a 12 and misses. So as he goes to make a swing, as you turn around and begin to run away, Hootie goes into his eyes, scratching at him. He's like, ah! It completely misses a strike, and you can move your full movement. And are you just running away?
Yeah, I'm gonna run my full 60. Just to keep, like, if he shouldn't be chasing after me, because of the fear that I still have held.
Exactly.
But I might take like one last shot at him no, I'm just gonna keep running.
Okay. So, leaving the clutches of the strange armored fellow, you run, ducking between alleyways and making your way. Roll me, no stealth check, you're just running away. So you just begin running down, trying to weave in and out of back alleyways and trying to make your way back towards the tram. After about 5 minutes of running, you turn around, you look back and notice that you are no longer being followed, and you are out of
Alright.
combat.
Do I see the tram at all? Like within like 500 feet?
At this point, yeah, the tram will be about. Well, it took you about an hour to get there.
Yeah, like did I like just miss it? Because if I just missed it and it's within 500 feet, I'd love to dimension door onto it. And just
I
be,
would
like,
say
sure that I got away.
it is pretty late, and you know that this is the last tram of the evening, and then you do see the tram. Like, it's far enough away. It is 500 feet away, but it'll take you longer to run there and get there, so you can essentially expend the dimension door and teleport into it if you want.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Okay. So rubbing the ring one more time, you release the dimension door, and then a black hole appears over your underneath your feet. You kind of fall into it as it seals up. Popping out, you land directly into the tram as it's beginning to move, falling heavy into it as it begins to shake, move back and forth. Looking inside, you see it's completely empty and it's just you on the tram, medically. And you see lit up in magical lettering, last tram of the evening, as it begins to move closer, making its way back to the light district.
DM, Hootie would have tried to get back on Cal's shoulder before the dimension door, just for the record.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll allow. I was like, Hootie's back there now, about to get
Oh,
slapped.
no.
Yeah, Hootie would have
Hootie.
as soon as he saw Cal running, he would have distracted the guy and then fly
Zoomed
towards
off.
Cal. Yeah, zoomed off towards Cal and get on his shoulder.
All right. Fair enough. So Hootie also appears within the tram, and you successfully get away from your pursuer and start to make your way back to the light district.
I brain chat the group. It's like, I'll be back soon.
So, Cal, you breathing back and forth and trying to patch up your wounds that you've taken. You, with Hootie, travel alone on the tram, going through each district one by one, until finally, passing through each one, you land, and it stops finally at the light district. The doors open up, and with Hootie in tow, you exit and start to make your way back to your manor.
Walk alone with Hootie.
Alright, you walk the lonely road and finally make it going past the shining crystal-like canals with the water that flows in them. You follow that back to the manor until the gates open up, walking through the garden, entering into the doors as you all hear the door slam shut behind you. And you all hear, "Welcome back, Master Cal," as you see coming out of the door, or out of the wall, is the automaton. "Is there anything else? Oh my word, you look hurt. Can I tend to your wounds?"
I'll be fine. Thank you.
"Are you absolutely sure? I am trained in the first aid."
You know what? Sure.
"Excellent." And he reaches into the wall and it pulls out a first aid kit and begins binding your wounds and healing it up a little bit. And you gain 5 HP.
Is he kind of doing this as I'm walking? Because I really don't want to
Yes.
stop for him. I want to
Mm-hmm. As if you're walking, he's gonna keep going walking and not even missing a beat. He just completely clears up your wounds.
Awesome. Hey, everybody, I'm back.
Hey,
Ugh,
welcome back. Are you alright?
Cal!
I was attacked on my way back.
Oh man.
It was some crazed individual. It didn't sit right with me. They were wearing heavy chainmail armor, like they may have even been a paladin.
In the Light District?
No, this was still in the Gray District.
Oh, that's terrible.
I got away, but I didn't want to kill them either. I didn't think that prudent.
Did you see any insignias?
They were cloaked, and I did not see any.
What kind of blades do they use?
Just a longsword.
Did they do any magic?
No.
You said they had a crazed look in their eyes?
Yes, it seemed as if they were being controlled or maybe had some sort of charm put on them. I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe they were drugged. I'm not sure. They were full of rage.
You think it was the bloodline?
It was after I'd left, and based on how that went, I don't think they would be trying to attack me.
Do you think they might have tried to make it look like an opposing faction tried to attack you? You said the gentleman was crazed, right?
Yes, I tried to reason with him and ask him questions, and he just frothed at the mouth, growling at me.
froth.
Well, I may be exaggerating slightly, but he just would growl and spittle flying everywhere. Nothing productive. I tried to just reason.
Well, I don't suppose this sort of thing just sort of happens around here, does it?
I can't remember anything like that happening to me before.
I highly doubt it. In a city like this?
It was very strange.
Should we go look for this person?
No, I think if anything, they'll try to find me.
Well, if someone did send someone after you, they'll come again.
Which is why I tried to make it back to be with my friends as soon as I could.
I'm just glad you're safe.
Thanks, Minako. Drusilla was interesting.
Yeah, what was that like?
Well, I saw a lot of willing people being taken into back rooms and being feasted on by vampires. She herself is a
What?
vampire.
I can't believe anyone would willingly let that happen.
It might be something of the vampire's charm.
Maybe it feels good.
Maybe.
I doubt it.
There were a lot of mages there, Horatio. I would suspect that she probably has some eyes in the Arcanum as well. She said she had eyes in the heirs of Equipoise, and those are supposed to be her enemies.
Yeah, I feel like there might be a lot of politics going on between all of these major groups.
And we're about to add one more to the mix with Queen Camilla.
I will say she had some interesting details about my father and mother.
What?
Like, your real parents?
Yeah, and Galilia.
So what happened? Start from the top.
First, she wants me to sign some sort of agreement or promise, some kind of bargain.
Don't do that.
I didn't sign my name to anything. I wanted to discuss everything with you all first. She says that she said that her people, these vampires, are trying to get out of Thelos, that something really bad is coming, and that they're trying to get to another layer in the void, the darkness. She said it's been sealed.
The darkness, as in the layer of darkness, the sixth layer?
Yeah. Yes, that's the one.
That's where my father is.
Well, apparently, Drusilla says that I can open up the door to that layer, and that nothing will harm me in doing so. She wishes for me to open it to allow her and her folk, these vampire, these undead, into the layer.
So they'll leave.
Yeah.
That's the
Well-
most peaceful situation.
It's not that I don't. Well, it's not that I don't want us to find Horatio's father, but wouldn't it be sealed for a reason?
She wouldn't tell me why. I wanted to know if any of you knew why it was sealed. Horatio, you said your father is there. Do you know why it's sealed?
Does Horatio know why it's sealed, DM?
You have no idea why it's sealed.
I really don't know, and I mean, I only saw that my father was there because of the vision that King helped me have. I'm not sure, but I can try and find out. Maybe Koben might know something.
Maybe. He is a demon hunter after all.
Sixth layer.
Maybe Queen Camilla will know something too when we get back to her.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's what she wants. And in return, she said she would tell me everything I wanted to know about my birth parents, about Galilia, about these revolvers and what they can do. Everyone seems to know what they can do except me, damn it.
But is she credible? She could just be lying and using you.
I don't know. I feel like she has her own agenda, but so do the heirs of Equipoise. I'm almost certain now that one of the reasons Galilia took me away from everything here was to protect me from both the Bloodlen and the heirs of Equipoise.
So find your own path.
I think that's truly the path Kalambor wants me to take.
Alright, so the night, although long, it's still young. So is there anything else you wish to do? You had agreed to head on over to Koben's to do the ritual, as he has a magical area where you can do so. And the night is still young, though long.
I think that I'm ready to go to
I've-
Koben's.
Pounded enough divine residuum for all of us, and I think that with you all helping, we have enough powdered silver too.
King, you think we're ready to go then?
I mean, I have everything. Are you okay? Do you need a moment of respite before we go? We could wait.
No, it's fine. I'll be fine. You did all this preparation. I won't be holding anything up.
You were just attacked. You needed.
I thanks to Minako, it could have been a lot worse.
Right then.
Okay. So you all kind of gather your things. King, you get your dust and other reagents all up into your bag. Seal it up. Do your final preparations. Before walking downstairs together as a group, you all go up towards the door and exit, heading towards the other side of the Light District to Koben's.
We'll be back later, house. Bye.
Goodbye, masters. If you need anything, please let me know.
Ugh.
Prepare a midnight snack. Let's have a charcuterie board with cheeses, lots of fresh and dried fruit, candied nuts. I need it all.
Excellent. We'll have this prepared when you return.
Please make sure there are chocolate almonds in there as well.
Of course, Master Horatio.
Thank you.
Be well. The night is long and full of beasties. Be safe.
What?
Nothing.
That's ominous.
What in the house?
That's fucking ominous.
What did you say?
Full
House?
of beasties.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's just talking its own talk. I used to have a Nimblewright that would glitch out and tell horror stories. Just keep going.
Goodbye. As it closes
Alright.
the door behind you.
Extra creepy,
I'm
like.
getting like an Annabelle vibe from this house right now.
Do you know how to get to Koblenz?
Yeah, you know how
Yeah,
to
we-
get to go bed.
Horatio would remember.
Yeah, I would too. We've been there before.
Lead the way. Everyone has their items that they wish to attune with, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Manako shows that she has her elaborate large wand.
Okay.
Out of character, Travis/King. You're using this with Chastifold, correct?
Correct.
And we all have to pick like an item or like a weapon ourselves.
It's an attunement ritual to better understand magic and how items work.
So you all continue walking throughout the city. It takes you about 20 minutes, but going down the familiar corridor, at this point, it's pretty empty. People are checking out for the night and heading to bed, but underneath the dustlit sky, you make your way, and you see that the familiar small building that is the demon-slaying headquarters of Koben has the lights shining through the windows. As you walk up and knock onto the door, you hear, 1 second! And after about a minute or so, the door opens up and you see, dressed not in the battle-ready leather attire, but more in a traditional wizard's garb, is the old buff dwarf known as Koben. And he looks you all with bright eyes. Hello, friends! It's great to see you all.
Good to see you as well, Koben.
Great. Fantastic evening. Are you prepared for the eve's ritual?
Yes, I've been prepared for quite some time. I thought you would be over sooner, but nevertheless.
Sorry. We had some things to do, but I've brought your fair share of divine residuum. I hope you've powdered your silver.
Oh, I'm quite ready. I've even have the magical circle. Drew it nice and big for everyone to commune, holding hands together, and we'll figure out your predicament with your magical weapons. I've also completed researching many things about this strange, chaotic blade that Master Duran has given me.
Yes, we'd love to hear more about that. Can we come in?
Of course, please step inside.
I'll come in and make myself, at home.
He says so. He's like, make yourself at home, it's fine. My house is your house. The ritual will take place in the back. You just walk straight back there, and I've prepared everything in the backyard. There I will reveal the secrets that I've been told about Duran's mystical blade. Just letting you know this really is a strange dark energy in it. This just oozes the void. So I am quite curious to know exactly where you made this and exactly where you found, or how this was made, or where you found this. But no need to get into that now. While the magics are high now, we should first start with your communion. Find out more about your magical weapons, or any one of you, if you have any questions about yours. There I will reveal about, we'll find out about your staff and Duran's blade.
All right. So I have a whole bunch of little pouches, and I hand him a small pouch that specifically has a label on it. And it says, this is just the pure divine residuum you need to mix with your powdered silver. And then I'll hand everyone else a pouch that has already the mixture combined. And I'll say, sprinkle this around you where you sit. And then I'll also take out a clump, and it sort of looks like a block of tea, but it's actually incense. And I'll say that this also should be spread around as well during the ceremony. Those were the reagents listed during the ritual component, but I'm also planning on lighting a divine candle as well, just for good luck. Unless you think that we shouldn't.
Oh, no, I think that should help. I also have a divine altar at the back.
Fantastic.
As many of the schools of magic, I am quite familiar in divinity, and I will be using that to answer the questions and reaching out to the gods. The old gods and the new, of course.
And the new. Well, it's my last divine candle, so I just want to make sure it's going to count, but I think this is well worth it. So I'll pull that divine candle out as well, and I'll, hand all of those bags out to everybody. And sort of like go back to the magic circle and sort of like set everything up and prepare and see what he's done.
Okay, so as you walk to the back, going past all his different demon relics and items, you open up the back door. Opening and such, you see that you exit back into a small garden. In the garden, there are several statues of the Aegis, but you see, and it looks like they've probably been here for a while, and they've been arranged in such a way to. You notice just by looking at it, it's almost like it is the magic circle, as they're all at different points creating a circle. You do see in between them what looks to be smaller but newer looking altars that celebrate what you recognize the symbol of Myliki, the symbol of Kelemvor, as well as other, and then Myliki and Kelemvor, those are the only two that he would place in there. So amongst all of the Aegises, there's two Prolepsy that he placed there, possibly, and it looks like it's fairly new. But nevertheless, inside the magic circle, you see the markings of the magic circle, as well as several objects of power has been placed at specific points within the circle in this intricate design. All right, come everyone. I assume we want to get started immediately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's get started.
All right, come everyone. Please place the weapons that you wish to commune with into the center of the circle. King, you can place your divine candle next to it. I will light it when we are ready. There, I need us all to hold hands around the circumference of the circle. King, you can sit actually right across from the statue of Myliki that I was able to commission.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. This is gorgeous. And I'll do so.
Sir Cal, you can sit there next to the symbol of Kelemvor I was able to commission.
Thank you. This is just perfect.
The rest you can sit where you want. Just make sure you're equidistanced apart to complete the circle.
Okay.
Alright, so as you all go to sit down at each spots, you're on the ground, like it's dirt that you're on, but Koben goes and sits right next to the statue that you do notice is of Gaia, because there's definitely a statue of Gaia there, and it's out of all the places where you've seen the statues of the Trias or the Aegis or the Trias, Gaia is always the most, the largest and the most defined. But there's Eros and Erebus there as well, as you recognize, as well as other Aegises.
As he's walking around and checking everything, I'll pull out of my pack and hand him notes and scribblings that I've taken of this ritual and say, like, here's a summary of what I was able to research and understand, if it, helps you.
Well, thank you. This will help. The more information, the better. All right. So, everyone, please take your seats.
Oh, Koben, do you think it would be possible for me to use that blade in this ritual now?
Oh, the blade, and as you can see already there, next to the candle, if King has placed it there, you see that the blade's already wrapped up there. It will be into this ritual as well. But, like I said, I did preliminary identifications and tests, and this will see if what I found to be true. Confirmation, if you will.
Horatio would, if the weapons are going in a specific spot, he would place the Staff of Al-Salah there, just because that's the only weapon he really has.
Okay. Does anybody else wish to place anything in the circle?
I'm putting my 2 revolvers in the circle.
Okay.
Minako will put the her wand with the little paper on it in the circle.
Okay. So you all put down your items in the circle and sit down, cross-legged. Koben stretches out his arms. All right. Let us all hold hands and begin the ceremony. And as you all go and slowly start to grab each other's hands and hold on tight, we will end tonight's session.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. So great session, guys.
Yo,
Yeah.
good stuff, guys.
That was very stressful. I didn't know.
Yo, Cal, bringing so much
Vampire
food today.
drama.
Oh my
All
god.
the calories today that we
Oh,
consumed.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for showing up. Amazing session.
Thank you for running it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No problem.
Yeah.
From the first page to the last chapter, we love you guys. Thank you so much, and be kind to one another. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Roll out.
Bye.
Bye.